Hello and welcome to another episode of HauntsRUs, where we are haunted on Maine. I'm your host, Cheeb, and I fucking love Furbies. I'm gonna say it. Furbies are cute as hell. I had one when I was growing up, and I love the shit out of that thing. Cause, I thought, this little robot was, the fucking future, you know? I'm joined today by my co-host, Thoughty.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Thoughty, and I also fucking love Furbies. They're cute as shit. They're kind of creepy, but, I still love them. I specifically love, that fan-made Furby. The long Furby.
Oh, long Furbies? Dude, I fucking love long Furbies, too.
Fucking love long Furbies.
I like the ones where, they replace, the fur with, pastel colors and, they give them, glittery eyes. Dude, I fucking live for Furby mods, dude.
They're so cute. I like that one that you sent me the other day with the goth Furby.
The goth girl. The goth Furby. Goth Furbies are, all the rage, man. I like the pastel vomit Furbies. I'm all about it.
No, I like this one. It's got black lipstick, black eyeshadow. Yes. Gimme. It's me.
Yeah. Man.
Where's all black and
what
it
I love
speaks
about,
gibberish? It's me.
Oh, yeah. It's me. Me scared. Oh, they're so cute, too. Ooh,
Ooh. They are the future, man. They still make them.
They do. They had the Furby Connect. That was 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't think they've been making them since. But I've seen the videos of them, and they're fucking amazing. The Furby Connects.
What are they?
Oh, they're called Furby Connect.
Oh yeah, where you connect it to an app because everything is connected to an app nowadays.
Yeah, you could watch it take a poop.
So it's like a Tamagotchi Furby. It's 2-in-1, baby.
Yeah, Tamagotchi. Yeah, I thought animatronic toys were gonna be the future, but it turns out it was just shit and slime that was gonna be the future in toys.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not gonna be robots. Not at all. Just squishy shit.
I mean, For Real Friends still exists. That's still going on, but yeah, I never had a For Real Friends, so I guess I just don't have the fondness for them.
Oh, I love them. I had a little panda.
Is that the one that you would crochet the clothes
No.
for?
That was just a stuffy. But I was obsessed with pandas as a kid, so every toy that I had was a panda.
Panda everything.
Everything panda. Well, no, I'll dox myself if I say that, but Anyway.
But anyways, we ain't talking about pandas today. We're going to talk about goblins.
Yeah.
That's right, goblins. So in the Furby community, what is a goblin? So I think it's taken a bit of a life of its own in the modding community. The goblin is a Furby that doesn't have any fur, and it's just the inside mechanical parts. And tonight we're going to talk about the origins of why that type of Furby is called the goblin.
Ow.
You see, there was this post on Tumblr. See, it all started on Tumblr.
As it does.
As it does. So there was a post on Tumblr that had a copy-paste paragraph of... Hold on. Let me word that a little bit better.
It's a copy pasta.
So there was a copy pasta. Let's call it a copy pasta.
Yeah.
It was a copy pasta of a section of this book called Alone Together, Why We Expect More from Technology and Less from Each Other by Sherry Turkle, 2011. You could find it on Amazon. It's got pictures of kids on their phone.
The selling point. Those pictures.
Kids be on their phone.
Kids be on their phones? Why? Why you do this?
So in this copy pasta, there was a section of the book where these kids gather around to perform surgery on a Furby that they think is sick. And when the kids like get the scissors and they open and like they cut open the skin, they call like the little animatronic part underneath the goblin. So it's just
Well, I mean, it fits. It definitely fits. It looks a little bit like Dobby. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks really scary.
Yeah. Yes.
So like as you can imagine, people went wild with this, because I know I did. Like I definitely reblogged that every time it came across my feed because it's hilarious.
It's really good. Tumblr's got some. As bad as Tumblr is, it's got some good shit, man.
Yeah, man, they read books there, and they'll copy paste weird shit just for you, just for the views, man.
It's a favorite shit. Oh man, I'm looking at these.
So, like, overall, it's not that complicated why it's called the Goblin, but I actually looked into the book, and you could find it online pretty easily, and, like, I read into that chapter. So the chapter where that section is taken from is from a chapter called, like, Alive Enough, and what's really interesting is that this is the author, what's her name? Sherry Turkle does, like, an experiment with, like, these kids that are under 8 years old. And the reason that she chooses kids that are under 8 years old is because when they're given a Furby, they're not entirely sure if it's how do you say? I suppose if it's fake or not. They're not entirely sure how alive it is.
If it's real.
Yeah, they don't know if it's real.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. They're little robots.
Yeah, and so... Yeah, they're little robots that you take care of.
Even adults don't know if robots are real.
Are robots real?
Who knows? There's so many... Have you not seen any of the Terminators and such? Actually, maybe Terminator's not a good example. Bicentennial Man, anyone?
Bicentennial Man? That sounds like a Pulp Fiction novel.
No! It's a really, 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 really long movie with Robin Williams in it, and where he plays a bicentennial man.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
He's already bipedal. What do you mean? Humans are bipedal. No. I don't understand. What's bicentennial?
I'll tell you right now what bicentennial is.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that? What's bicentennial?
Is it a Furby?
I mean, they are on 2 feet. They are on 2 feet. Let me see.
Well, I mean, the original Furby doesn't have feet, it just has toes. But the 2005 Furby, that one had feet, and I didn't like it.
Oh.
Look up the 2005 Furby. It's really creepy looking.
2005 Furby. Oh, also bicentennial just means the 200th. So I guess it was just like it was some kind of metaphor. But yes, this Furby is disgusting and I hate it. Why does it have legs? No!
Yeah, dude, it has legs.
Why does it have
and
legs?
It always looks like it's distressed. It's got fleshy eyelids.
No! You know what it looks like?
The thing that was special about that line of Furby is that, like, since the beak was rubbery, like, it could emote better.
No.
But it just sort of looks like it's scowling all the time.
It does. Oh, no. I'm looking at what it looks like it looks like it's being mean. Looks like it asked it a stupid
Look at
question.
its feet, dude. Look at its feet.
No, ew.
Look at pictures of 2005 Furby feet.
He's got toes! Who did this? Whose man's is this? It's got toenails.
Audience, stop whatever you're doing, stop the fucking podcast. and look at 2005 Furby.
The first photo that you should get is the fucking gray and pink one, and it's no. No. It's gross. Ooh.
Dude, at first when I would see those in like Furby blogs, I was just like, is this like a weird custom I've never
You're
seen
like, that's
these
not
before.
real.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh, I guess they want him to look more like Gremlins. Because I didn't know. No one talks, people in like Hasbro, they don't talk about 2005 Furby.
Yeah, I would. Gee, I wonder why. Like, the fur is cute. I like the fur. They use, like...
Yeah, it's, like, big and fluffy. It's bigger than the other ones, but it's just the eyes and, like, the mouth and, like, the flesh tone color is just...
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, all the little bits that would be plastic are just, like, weird rubber. I don't like it. No. Oh, wait, the one that I saw, the pink and the gray one, that one's like a shaved version of that Furby. Oh, no.
Yeah?
Or it's like a Furby baby? It kind of looks like that, like, green thing in Evolution. Have you seen that movie? Oh, dang. Okay, well.
Damn.
Hold on.
I don't watch a lot of
movies.
Jeez. Who has the time?
I watched them when I was a kid.
I'm too busy looking at Furby blogs.
Here, I'll send it to your actual phone. When I get a second. Because it looks just like it. No.
Yeah? Send it.
Let's see. Evolution. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Doesn't it look like it?
This is great. Oh, no. This is... We're gonna have to tell the editor to put that up on the screen. That's gonna be our cover image.
Sock monkey. You gotta look up evolution green dog alien ? And there it is.
It's the soulful eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just so sad.
I was wondering which Furbies that Turkle was using for her experiment, and it seems like she must have used the 90s and the 2000s version of Furby, the one that we're all mostly familiar with. I was like, did she use the 2005 version? That's what I'd call a goblin.
That makes more sense that they wouldn't know that it was alive or not.
Oh,
it's like, see the soulful eyes. It's what it is. They're like...
It's like, I feel like she would have mentioned if it was the 2005 Furby, because that's the one that looks completely different from all of the rest of them.
I don't like it. It's giving me the creeps.
Yeah, but I grew to love him. I grew to love him in his soulful scorn.
No, thank you. It's okay. No.
So, like we mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure if you're listening to like a haunted doll podcast, you know what a Furby is. Maybe you have one yourself. I know I follow a lot of people on Instagram that do like Furby stuff, and I love them. And I hope you know that I appreciate you and that y'all should keep posting Furby stuff. Furbies are cool, man. But like we mentioned earlier, like the Furbies are these little owl goblin creatures. I thought they were owls. They're like fuzzy little owls. They have their little round beaks and like their round eyes.
I can see that.
And like like their big ears that they animate with. The newer versions, they have like more. I don't want to call them bones. They have like more animation throughout their body, but like the first ones, the only things that would animate were their ears, their eyes, and their little beaks. And they're similar to a Tamagotchi because like you have to feed them, and like to feed them you just have to press like their little tongue in their beak, and like you have to like pet them and play with them and stuff, and like it doesn't turn off. That's the thing about the first ever Furbies, is that they don't turn off.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of stories. I forget where they are. I think they're like probably on Reddit, where like, or I heard this in school. Oh wow, I might have heard this in school.
Tell us.
A teacher told me that they like someone had a Furby that they really liked and asked someone else to like babysit it for them so it doesn't get lonely. And they were tired of it was really cute, but that person who was taking care of it, I guess like they either broke up or something. But he got
They broke up?
But he got or
and she killed her Furby.
No. I don't know. Wait.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know if they broke up or whatever. It's something. But, like, I guess at some point, the one that was taking care of the Furby got sick of hearing, like, its chatter. And, stuck it, like, in the ceiling. So, like, they had those, like, panel ceilings that you have at school where, like, they just come off. I don't know if maybe...
What?
Maybe they were in a dorm or something, but they had those. And so they put it inside the roof so they wouldn't hear it. And then, like, one day, I guess they were doing construction on it, and, like, just a Furby came out. And it was still alive!
Oh my god, this is some strong-ass batteries.
Strong-ass batteries, me. I mean, it was probably newer. Probably wasn't that long, but that's kind of funny. That, like, to get rid of the chatter, people would just, like, stick it in closets and stuff. Bitches, don't turn on. Stick them in the closet.
Stick him in the closet.
It's
wow.
really sad.
That's, like, really funny because, I don't know if I mentioned this. So, Turkle does the experiment with a bunch of children that are under the age of 8 because they're kind of, like, experimenting with the idea of, like, what things are, like, biological and alive and what things aren't. So when presented with a Furby, like, it's kind of, like, half and half. They know it's a machine, but, like, also, like, they'll project biological things on them. So to them, it is alive.
Right.
For all intents and purposes, for, like, the kids, the Furby is, like, a thing that's kind of alive, but they don't have the capacity to, like, recognize the difference yet.
Is that not the same thing with, like, all toys?
No, because the thing that's different about, like, a Furby is that it animates by itself.
Okay.
And so when a child looks, like, at a regular doll, like, they have to, like, animate it with their mind and, like, put it in situations and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so, like, a child, even at that age, is, like, pretty aware that, like, a toy isn't alive. But with the Furby, like, the lines are a little bit blurred. And, like, the thing that the book wants to answer is, like, what's our relationship going to be with technology in the future? So she does this experiments with Furbies to see, like, how we will interact with, like, advanced AIs possibly in the future is the idea. You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, as you can imagine, we get to read about a lot of interesting kind of stuff, including the part about the goblin, but we're going to build up to it, because there's a good amount of build-up before we get there.
Want to talk about the goblin?
So, one of the things that comes up over and over in this chapter of the book is that to a child, if you like, take out the batteries of a Furby, that's essentially killing the Furby. So with these old ones, obviously you can't turn them on. They don't have an off switch. I know the 2005 Furby had an off switch, and, like, all of the Furbies afterwards do have an off switch, but the first Furbies ever made didn't have an off switch. You just had to fucking take care of it.
It's like an actual pet, but it doesn't poop.
Yeah, it's like a Tamagotchi where, like, it doesn't turn off, and, like, so the only way to, like, get it to turn off was to make it go to sleep. And, like, the little crest that's on it, that's between its eyes, that's a light sensor. So, like, when it was dark, the Furby would, like, know to animate to go to sleep.
Oh, see, that's why everyone puts it in the closet.
Yeah, and now we're learning so much about Furby.
Well, I didn't know anything about Furbies, TBH. I just like them. I never had one.
Yeah. I had one. I loved it. And that's the first thing that my family did with my Furby was take out the batteries.
They killed your pet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Dude, like, I didn't know that, like, Furbies are, like, supposed to learn language the more you played with it. I just wanted a robot friend.
I just want a robot. I don't want a friend, I just want a robot
man.
to have a robot.
Yeah, I just wanted, like, a toy that, like, I also wanted to have a toy that, like, had, like, a lot of play value that was, like, gentle play, because I really liked gentle play as a kid.
I don't think you mind some gentle play as an adult, either. Hey! Hey! Oh, fuck, I clipped the mic.
I'm pretty vanilla. No judgment, though. We all live our lives.
It's fine.
But yeah, but to these kids, so what taking out the battery of a Furby does is that it resets its memory and everything, so you have to start the game all over, so to speak. So to a little kid, when like its memories and everything disappear, that's like killing their Furby that they raised.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
that's kind of...
I saw a lot of really interesting stuff there. But anyways, when I had my first Furby, like, it was making too much noise while my parents were trying to eat dinner. So, like, my dad just took out the batteries, and I was just like, all right.
No!
He didn't even get a chance that
to
knowledge
learn.
yet.
No. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Kids are like... Or, it's funny to hear this because, like, everything that I guess the kids are saying or thinking, like, that's just, like, the philosophy of robots. Full stop.
I suppose it is.
Like...
Yeah, like, if you were to hang out with, like, your robot friend and it got, like, resetted and it, like, it didn't remember you or, like, anything, is that your friend anymore, you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's the plot of WALL-E, man. Remember?
Oh, yeah! I forgot about that part where, like, he resets and he... Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, like, it, not that it's, like, oh, no shit, but, like, it's, I don't know, I just think it's funny that, like, like, it's kind of just a basic thing for people. Like, oh, yes, if you lose your memories, then you're not the same person anymore. Full stop. It's like, I don't know, man. It's cool. It's cool that little kids are basically making up science fiction without even really thinking about it.
They're coming up with explanations for, like, their own little world.
It's cute. Hate kids, but it's cute.
Yeah, like, I think I knew that the Furby was just a robot, but I must have been, like, above the age of 8 when I got my Furby.
Oh, probably.
So, according to the book, when Turkle presents the kids with a Furby, the first things kids do is, like, talk about its biology. So they ask, like, they touch the Furby and they're just like, oh, yeah, that's its fur. Is that what real fur feels like? You know... So if it has fur, does it feel cold? You know, does it have these biological functions? And, like, they'll say, well, a Furby sleeps and it eats and it burps. And, like, a kid might say, well, I sleep and I eat and I burp. So, like, I'm like a Furby? And a Furby is like me. You see, like, the level of, like, thinking that, like, the kids are having?
Dang, kids. That's really cute. It's kind of killing me.
Yeah, and, like, for all intensive purposes, like, it was proven false eventually that the Furbies don't have an ability to, like, record sound or anything. Its ability to, like, learn the language is just something that it builds up to, like, a video game, so to speak. So it has no learning functionality that's real, you know? But it's, like, really, it's really cute. Because there was this case where, like, this little girl was, like, trying to, like, make her Furby fall asleep because her parents were, like, entertaining guests in the other room and they were being really loud. So what she does is she takes, like, some clothespins and, like, she pinches the ears of the Furby shut so that he can get some sleep.
No.
Oh. Yeah, so, like, this these kids are like projecting like
Oh my
biological
God.
functions onto these Furbies
adorable.
while they keep them. And like and like the fact that the kids have to like take care of the Furby like the pet, like it makes it feel more alive than like say a doll or a toy or a action figure or anything like that. She talks about like a particular kid that like recognizes that like the Furby is part machine, because like you could hear the machinery, because like a lot of Furbies are like really loud. I know mine
the old
was.
ones in particular.
You could hear like the gears, like the crack, 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 crack. Yeah, the old ones in particular. But like he also like recognizes it as a creature, and he tries to find like the machinery in himself. So like he plays, so like when he's playing, he plays with the idea of like him having like screws in his body. There's like this little kid that was just like, well, you take out the screws of a Furby and like it takes it apart, and I have a screw on my belly button, and when I play with that, it bleeds, which is a weird thing for a kid to say, because I don't think I've ever played with my belly button to the point where it started bleeding. What type of fucking belly button do you have, mate? Yeah, kids are gross.
What? Kids are weird. See, okay. See, then I hear shit like that, and I'm like, yeah, no, I hate kids. It's like, oh, how cute. They think it's actually, they think there's some semblance of, like, what's the word? What's the word? They think it's a pet. Oh, okay, cute. Oh, I touched my belly button until it bleeds. No. Okay. No more.
Kids are
no more Furby
like
for
that,
you.
man.
No more.
The reasoning is very popcorn like. They'll just burst out with weird ideas and say weird shit, dude. Oh man, I fucking love taking care of kids. They say the darndest things, dude. Dude, like, one of my favorite things to do if, like, I'm ever, like, babysitting or, like, playing with my nieces is, like, watching them play with their dolls, because they come up with, like, the wildest fucking plots.
Yeah. If a kid is like, play with me, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna play. Are we gonna play Army Man? Hell yeah. Oh shit.
We're gonna play Monster High as hell. Like, yeah. And it's just like, her name is Ruby. She's blue, so
like, what?
she's a shadow creature, and I'm just like,
yeah, man, I love
you're
like
fucking wrong. First of all, her name is Twyla. Second of all, she's the daughter of the Pokemon.
You can't play Monster High with your nieces. You're like, first of all, that's not the correct lore. Her name is not Skelita.
First of all, your lore is all wrong.
Oh, I said Scalera is what
her
I was
name
saying.
is Skelita.
For the first time when I want to say it wrong,
for the first time you say it right.
Oh man, they make the funniest things, man. Yeah,
I've just yelled at you enough times.
I just didn't want to. My body was protecting myself from getting yelled at again. It was like, no, say Skelita. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, the kids mix up like their biology and like the machinery of like the Furby, because it's like their machinery is their biology, and there must be like some machinery in myself also, because like we get like this kid that like also like he's playing with like a screwdriver and putting it up against his knees, just like, I'm screwing my leg on, you know, stuff like that. And that tells us the process that these kids are going through when they're like trying to justify whether the Furby is alive or not. You feel? Dang. So because I mentioned earlier that the goal of having a Furby is to teach it to speak English, because when you first get a Furby, it speaks in like mostly its little gibberish, the ow, ah. And like the more you play with it, the more it starts to learn like English phrases, like me, love you, stuff. All that stuff, all that good stuff.
No more ooh ah ah ahs.
Ooh,
That's the Furby language.
I gotta make
Oh,
a disturbed Furby.
You gotta put your finger in its mouth over and over again and make it evil.
I'm not down with the sickness Furby.
Oh, no, that was a
the
thing.
evil Furby. So in like so in the later iterations of like the Furby Boom, and like the Furby Connect, the Furbies get specific personalities depending on like the way you play with it. And like one of the Furbies that you can get is evil Furby. So yeah.
Oh, freaking!
I bet there's some like creepypastas
definitely.
about evil Furby out there.
Bro, with those hyper-realistic eyes, of course.
Definitely. We'll have to do that for those hyper-realistic. Maybe in our next season. Because we're about wrapping up this season. So there's a lot more fun things to look forward to in the HauntsRUs podcast, kids. So stay tuned.
All kinds of things. We got doll feet. We got Patreon jokes.
So like I was saying, like...
No Patreon.
We got
zero
Patreon jokes, but no Patreon.
Yo, we need a Patreon because I really want this cute Furby right here, and it's like $300. I think it's a...
Which one is it?
No...
Is it the Kid Cuisine?
It's not the Kid Cuisine Furby.
The Kid Cuisine Furby?
No, it's the Furby Connect, but it's pink. Look at its face. Let me send it to you. It's a little pink one. It's so cute. It's got like little anime eyes.
I do like them when they're pink.
I don't know if it's a custom. I think it
is
might
it like
just
a
be
custom?
like in existence, but it says it's $139. Maybe because they don't make them anymore?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's...
Do they not make those anymore?
Connect. Yeah. That was the newest version that came out 2 years ago. Oh. That
With
other
the
one you
big
sent me
legs?
is great, too.
Who did this?
Like, I have no idea how available Furby Connects are now, or if, like, Furby's ever gonna come out with, like, another series of them. But they're, like, a little harder to come by just because, like, they had, like, a heavier price tag when they were
It makes
actually,
sense.
like,
They're
in
super
stores.
fucking cute. I'm looking at it. It's got, like, anime eyes.
They are, dude, they're super cute. You should go on YouTube and, like, look at, like, a review of them. Like, the way they move is so cute. They're so adorable.
They got little sleepy masks. Stop. Oh my god.
They learned how to sing
Do they
pop
just record?
songs for you.
Well, no, it's a Connect. It's connected to the internet. Yeah.
I think it's through the app. Yeah, it's through the app. I think the Furby Connect app is still up, but I'm not sure about that. I'm just gonna play.
Sweet.
You could play the Furby Connect app without a Furby.
Oh my god. You know what I just read?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the same vein as a cutting open Robert the Doll at 3 a.m. Black-eyed kids came to my house. It's a don't feed them after midnight, reverse engineering the Furby.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry, I keep interrupting your
No,
Furby.
it's okay. We're talking about Furby. It's the Furby. So get your Furby out.
Like,
get your Furby out.
This is definitely a
Get your
cool
Furby.
subject. I also want to talk about how cute the fucking Furbies are.
Yeah, dude, I love...
I know. People who are like, oh my god, they're so creepy.
They're so cute, man. I remember like in my old house, like we had like a little playground in our backyard because I didn't realize how spoiled and like bratty I was as a kid that I had a park in my backyard.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So, like, I remember, like, I would invite, like, my friends over to my backyard and we would, like, play on the swings or go down my slide. And I remember, like, I was playing with one of my friends and I took out my Furby because I wanted Furby to play with us. And she was just like, ew, could you put it away? It's so creepy.
How dare.
She never came back to my backyard.
What a bitch. What a...
This is my house. This is my playground.
Yeah, like, this is
You're gonna let my Furby play with us.
See you next Tuesday, bitch. CUNT. Because you're a cunt.
So, like I was saying with, like, kids, the thing that really appeals to them with, like, a Furby is that, like, unlike a traditional toy, they wholeheartedly believe that, like, a Furby can reciprocate their love. So the more you love your Furby, the more your Furby loves you back.
No. I mean, it makes sense, especially with, like, the little programming that they have with, or, which ones did they use? They used the older ones, right? Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, these are, like, I think the first ones that ever came out. Because she didn't mention, because, like, she talked about, like, the way it looks, and she didn't mention it looking like a hobgoblin, so...
Alright, cool. Never mind.
So I think it's safe to assume that it was, like, the ones that came out in, like, the 2000s before the 2005 one came out.
2000.
Because the 2005 one doesn't
okay.
have the light sensors in its eyes. Yeah, that one just has an off
That one's
switch.
for, that's playing Furby on easy mode with your off switch. I could just turn it off when it's annoying.
Yeah,
now that makes more sense. That's a robot. The other one's a child.
So yeah, so like a Furby has needs, and it's up to the kid to fulfill those needs. A 7-year-old puts it this way, quote, "Dolls let you tell them what they want. The Furbies have their own ideas." A 9-year-old boy sums up the difference between Furbies and his action figures. You don't play with the Furby, you sort of hang out with it. You do try to get power over it, but it has power over you too. Children will say that traditional dolls can be hard work because you have to do all the work in giving them ideas. Furbies are hard work for the opposite reason. They have plenty of ideas, but you have to give them what they want and when they want it. Daisy, 6, with a Furby at home, believes that each Furby owner must help his or her Furby fulfill its missions to learn... Daisy, 6, with a Furby at home, believes that each Furby owner must help his or her Furby fulfill its mission to learn about people. You have to teach it. When you buy it, that's your job. Daisy tells me that she taught her Furby about Brownie Girl Scouts, kindergarten, and whales. "It's alive," she says. "I teach it about whales. It loves me." Padma, 8, says that she likes meeting what she calls... Hold on, I got lost. Padma, 8, says that she likes meeting what she calls Furby request, and thinks that her Furby is kind of like a person because it talks. She goes on, "It's kind of like me because I'm a chatterbox." After 2 weeks, it's time for Padma to return her Furby, and afterwards she feels regret. "I miss how it talked, and now it's so quiet at my house. I didn't get a chance to make him a bed."
Oh, that's so freaking cute.
Yeah, dude, isn't that
Give him the Furby.
And the thing is, she only gives him out for 2 weeks at a time, but per request of these cute ass kids, like she'll extend the stay, or like parents will ask Turkle, or like the parents will tell their kids, "Oh, we'll buy you your own Furby," and they're just like, "I don't want that Furby. I want my Furby."
That's so cute.
Yes,
Furby.
Furby for life. Furby gang, rise up!
It's tongue twister. I can't do it. Oh, no.
Furby gang.
Oh, it's so. Oh my god, it's so sad. Of course she's gonna say, "Yeah, you can keep it for another week." Like, no, I want my pet. It's mine. Don't take away my pet that loves me. Like, yay!
My son or daughter. my non-binary Furby.
My offspring.
Furby said trans rights.
My child. Oh, it's really cute. The more that I look at Furbies and that I hear about Furbies and like how much these children love them, I'm like, I want one. Give me Furby. I want what I could never have as a child.
Dude,
yeah.
Let's just go to thrift stores together and pick up Furbies,
I would assume that they're like really expensive.
Dude, Every now and then, like, people will still find them because Furbies were so damn fucking popular that, like, 1,000,000 of them were made. So they're not particularly rare to come by, especially, like, the ones that came out in the 90s and the 2000s. I think I read, like, this statistic that was just, like, if you were to, like, lay down, like, every Furby that was ever purchased and wrap it around the world, it would, like, wrap around twice or something like that. Jesus. I read, like, some statistic like that. So as far as like, collecting Furbies, it's, like, pretty accessible. In fact, like, the thing that's really funny and different about, like, the Furby communities is that, like, you know, with my Monster Highs, I have them on the shelf. They're in the box. They have all of their accessories. I dust them sometimes. when I've just got.
Does the Furby community keep them outside of the box? Is that what that is?
Yeah, most of them are found outside the box, as most kids played with their Furbies, because it has a lot of play value. And, like, so that's where, like, the Furby, like, mod community comes, because, like, there's, like, no shame in, like, taking a Furby and, like, tearing off its skin and, like, modifying it. Yeah, so that's how you see, like, all of these cool Furbies online on Instagram and Tumblr.
I fucking love the long Furbies.
And, like, the long Furbies, too.
I love her.
Yeah, the lady so that's why you see a lot of that.
She was the first one. Strange Eons. Girlfriend. Love her. Yeah. Love her. We do.
Was it? Girlfriend.
She's a beautiful goth lady and she made a long Furby. Bitch. Wife. Wifey material right there. That's wifey. Hello. Wife. I fucking love her. Anyway.
So speaking about loving Furbies just a little too much, there's this story where a family was about to leave on vacation, and the Furby manual says that, like, if the Furby's gonna be left unused for a long time, then you should take out the batteries. And, like, the mother did this, and she didn't understand, like, the implications of, like, what she did. Because, like I said earlier, if you take out the batteries of a Furby, it loses its memory, and it dies. Mm-hmm. Or at least that version of the Furby you raised dies.
A terrible mother.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Wide-Eyed Holly, who was the child of, like, this mother, tries to make her mother understand what she's done. When the batteries are removed, she says, the Furby forgets its life.
Jesus Christ. There's so much drama. You've just put so much pain and suffering on this child. What have you done, mother? What have you done? She did the equivalent of, like...
How could you do this?
The equivalent of,
How could you kill the Furby?
A fucking goldfish down the drain and then get another one. Without telling the kid. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, it hurts. Or I guess a new rabbit would make more sense.
So since kids love their Furbies so much, and they become extremely attached to them, and, like, they have, like, all of these superstitions, to a lot of these kids, a Furby is practically alive, it's at least, wouldn't you say?
On the same level as, like, a dog or a cat. I would say. Maybe a fish. Fish or a bird. Mm-hmm. Birds are definitely...
Maybe a fish.
I love birds.
Birds are cool. I like birds.
I also love Furby.
So, what do these kids do when the Furby gets sick? You don't take out its batteries, because that kills them.
What do they do?
So, and this is the copy pasta I was going about, but with a little bit extra stuff. I didn't even talk about this next part, because the next part is great.
Don't dox me!
I'm sorry.
Anyway, continue.
So I didn't tell Thoughty about, like, the last part, because the last part is gold. So, Lily, 10, worries that her broken Furby is hurting, but she doesn't want to turn it off, because that means you aren't taking care of it. She fears that if she shuts off a Furby in pain, she might make things worse. 2 8-year-olds read about how much their Furbies sneeze. The first worries that his sneezing Furbies is allergic to him.
So cute.
The other fears that his Furby got a cold because I didn't do a good enough job taking care of him.
Oh, jeez.
Several children become tense when Furbies make unfamiliar sounds that might be signals of distress. I observe children with their other toys, dolls, toy soldiers, action figures. If these toys make strange noises, they are usually put aside. Broken toys lead easily to boredom, but when a Furby is in trouble, children ask, is it tired? Is it sad? Have I hurt it? Is it sick? What shall I do?
Oh.
In one kindergarten.
Oh, man.
Wild up in this kindergarten. When a Furby breaks down, the children decide they want to heal it. The children volunteer, seeing themselves as doctors in an emergency room. They decide they'll begin by taking it apart. It's getting good. The proceedings begin in a state of relative calm. When talking about their sick Furby, the children insist that this breakdown does not mean the end. People get sick and get better, but as soon as scissors and pliers appear, they become anxious. At one point, Alicia screams,
"Oh no.
The Furby is going to die."
Child. Oh no.
Horror pinpoints the moment when Furbies die. It happens when a Furby's skin is ripped off. Sven considers the Furby as an animal. You can shave an animal's fur and it will live, but you cannot take its skin off. As the operation continues, Sven reconsiders. Perhaps the Furby can live without its skin. But it will be cold.
It's just a
It
code.
will be cold if he takes off his skin.
It's just a code. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Kids are silly.
He doesn't back completely away from the biological. The Furby is sensitive to the cold, but reconstructs it. For Sven, the biological now includes creatures such as Furbies whose insides stay all in the same place when their skin is removed. This accommodation calms him down. If a Furby is simultaneously biological and mechanical, the operation in progress, which is certainly removing the Furby's skin, is not necessarily destructive. Children make theories when they are confused or anxious. A good theory can reduce anxiety. But some children become more anxious as the operation continues. One suggests that if Furby dies, it might haunt them. It is alive enough to turn into a ghost. Indeed, a group of children start to call the empty Furby skin the ghost of Furby, and the Furby's naked body the goblin.
Thank
you for joining us on this episode.
Oh my goodness.
No, it keeps going.
So silly. I like how they like. No. It's not a skin, it's a suit. They kids. Oh goodness, okay.
But wait, there's more.
Haunted by my Furby.
They're not happy that this Shut up. They're not happy that this operation might leave a Furby goblin and a ghost at large. One girl comes up with the idea that the ghost of the Furby will be less fearful if distributed. She asked if it would be okay if every child took home a piece of Furby skin. She is told this would be fine, but unappeased, she asked the same question 2 more times. In the end, most children leave with a bit of Furby fur. Some talk about burying it when they get home. They leave the room for a private ritual to placate the goblin and say goodbye. They have the surgery. Surgery goes wrong. Oh. They kill the Furby, leaving behind the goblin. And then to appease the ghosts, they each take a piece of Furby fur.
Oh my god.
To dispose of.
Kids are making science fiction. They're making horror. They're making... I know, where's my haunted Furby movie?
Where's my Furby movie?
Enough of these fucking terrifying ass... what are they called? Fucking marionette dolls. These freaking whores. Furby's in, yeah!
Five Nights at Freddy's is out. Furby's is back in, baby.
Is that just what Five Nights at Freddy's is? It's just fucking Furbies, but big. They're tall Furbies.
They're animatronics, yeah. Like the Chuck E. Cheese'ems.
Really?
Yeah. Don't like the pizza that much, but for whatever reason, you could get you can get Chuck E. Cheese pizza delivered with Postmates. Which is weird.
I mean, I like their pizza.
Not exactly known for its pizza.
It's got like a weird taste. It's got like too much oregano or something in it, and I like it.
That ain't no Mountain Mike's. I don't know if they have that everywhere in the U.S., but that's a franchise that's here. Mountain Mike's.
It's good.
Is good. The next time your boyfriend should bring you here.
Usually we go to Pizza My Heart
and talk about Furbies.
Oh shit, she said Pizza My Heart is all right. Pizza My Heart is alright.
If you like... It cuts up my mouth.
It do got crunchy crust. It do got crunchy crust.
It always cuts up the top of my mouth and I'm in pain for like 2 days after. And I'm just like, but that Pizza My Heart was good though, right?
Oh my goodness.
But hold on, folks. The story continues. Denise, 8, watches some of the goings-on from the safety of the hall. She has a Furby at home and says she does not like to talk about its problems as diseases because Furbies are not animals. She uses the word fake to mean non-biological and says, Furbies are fake. They don't get diseases. But later, she reconsiders her position when her own Furby's batteries run out and the robot, so chatty only moments before, becomes inert. Denise panics. It's dead. It's dead right now. Its eyes are closed. She then declares her Furby both fake and dead. Denise concludes that both worn-out batteries and water can kill a Furby. It is a mechanism, but alive enough to die.
Oh no. Little baby. I feel like that was just something that their mom told them. Like, honey, it's not real. It's fake. But, like, in her heart of hearts, she's like, no, it's real. That's my friend. That's my pet. I love him.
That's my friend. So, that's the end of the Furby chapter. And I think, since we're already gonna, like, run in almost in an hour, there's another episode idea that I want to do with this book in mind. And it's about whether
I'll tell you right now.
AI should feel pain or not.
No. It should not.
No.
No!
I think Turkle disagrees with
I don't care what kind of PhD you got. I say no!
Because when you... So, like, a Furby, if you've ever had a Furby and, like, you turn it upside down, it'll start to, like, wail. No. It'll be like, ow, wow. And eventually it'll say, me scared.
Oh, no! It's alive then. It's alive then. Yeah.
It's alive.
Furby real. I'm 24
Furby alive,
and I say
actually.
it's real.
Furby real. Furby real, but fake 2020.
Real fake. Yeah, it's real fake.
Real fake Furbies.
No, the second you make some... Okay. If it's like... I don't know. I guess there's a couple of like science fiction... I think it's a couple of science fiction movies about this, or like books, where it's like, okay, well, does it actually feel pain? Is it just like they're like, what's the difference between a program saying, oh, you get socked in the face and you say ow, and like the actual feeling of getting socked in the face and saying ow? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? It's all signals to a brain or a program. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say no. Because I don't know the difference.
Yeah, but like in this next section, she talks about like it was like a baby doll that had like, it's called like My Real Baby or something by Hasbro. Or was it Mattel? Look, there's two toy companies in the world that exist, and it's Hasbro and Mattel, and they have a giant monopoly, and no one's fucking talking about it.
Were you watching The Toys That Made Us, and how we used to have like 8 million toy companies, and now it's just Hasbro and Mattel? Much like...
Yeah, fucking Furby is part of Hasbro now, but it used to be its own company called Tiger Electronics.
Yeah, Hasbro.
So it got eaten up.
Well, actually, Mattel's going down, so we don't know. No.
Yeah, Mattel is not facing the best times as of the recording. I think they're getting a little better. Their stock was at like $5 like a while back. Stonks. And I think I could look it up. I could look at my stonks. I love my stonks, dude. Dude, like, everyone talks about how, like, stocks are boring and shit, but, like, stonks is just, like, boring. Drama. Stonks. It's just, like, drama, but for businesses. Let me see. Yeah, Mattel is at $11. Hasbro is at $101 per share, so... I have stocks in Mattel, baby!
Oh, no. I mean, I guess there's nothing. It's only $11. If they go down, you're out $11?
Yeah. It went down 0.93% today.
I will buy all your stock. I don't understand stocks. Explain. Well, no, don't explain to me. Explain later.
Tonight on HauntsRUs, we talk about stonks.
Stonks.
This is my queer, feminist, Latina financing haunted doll podcast.
I would like to know. I don't know how stonks work.
No, you don't know. If you're really curious about learning about like stonks and finances, I actually really recommend this podcast called "Bad with Money" with Gabby Dunn. Yeah, I really, really love "Bad with Money" by Gabby Dunn. Her theme song, amazing, beautiful.
Yeah.
She queer
now we got
as hell.
2 people to look at. Or 2 other people's, what's the word? Content to look at. Oh, Lego's still a thing. Sorry, now I'm looking at all these toy companies, and I'm like, oh, man, there's only like 3 of them that I know of.
Yeah, and people on 4chan have opinions about like the fucking... what company is it? It's the company that does the LOL dolls.
I should know this. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, so... People have, like, a lot of, like, scalding opinions about, like, the CEO of, like, MGA on, like, 4chan, and, like, they'll just say, like, some straight up, like, egregious shit about him.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay. You don't have to.
No, I have to be the one that said them. But
Oh.
a lot of he was the creator of Bratz.
Okay.
So the CEO of MGA is actually the creator of Bratz. And people like to say, because MGA does LOL dolls and they do the Poopsie slime surprise stuff, they like to say that, like, because to the adult eye, these toys are a little questionable looking. Yeah, people on 4chan like to, like, accuse the CEO of having, like, an range of, like,
I mean, I can definitely see
fetishes.
that. I was just about to say, when you said that he was the creator of Bratz, I was like, oh, I can definitely see, like, the thought baby going on here, because these look a lot like the Bratz big babies, which is why I like them so much. Let me put it down. 1 second. I gotta put her back on her shelf. I looked at one of my doll's heads to see the company on it. I probably shouldn't have gotten the one that I meticulously placed with a hat. I immediately was just like, ah, yes, my goth thought baby. That's the one. The one with the hat and the hair. That's hard to fix. Ooh, damn it. She looks funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spread rumors. I don't know. But those, at least the Poopsie slime, or like the, what's it called? The Poopsie surprise, like, kind of creeps me out. I don't like it. Like, I mean,
I don't know. I also
it is cursed. Like, I understand
Poopsie
that
slime
there's
surprise
always
is
been
cursed.
baby dolls that, like, pee and poop, but this one has, like, giant eyelashes and like mascara, and it's weird.
It reminds me of, like, some old DeviantArt art.
Yeah,
like,
it looks.
I think that's what makes me uncomfortable when I look at it. It
It's
triggers my fight or
reminiscent
flight.
of something that would be on Fur Affinity. It sure is.
Oh god, it sure is, huh? So, if you guys
No.
browse Fur Affinity or a Fur Affinity artist,
Let us
comment
know if there's
on the section below.
Surprise art. Actually, I might just look it up. Remember last time we looked up to see if there was, like, lewd art of of Raggedy Ann, and there was. One artist, 100%.
Just one artist that did all of it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we don't.
It was
Yeah,
he was kind of a weird guy too.
We looked him up on, like, Know Your Meme or something or other, and he's a little questionable, but I do like the art. That particular one, at least.
But
She looks cute. I don't like what's happening to her.
so I think that marks.
No, we gotta
the
talk
end
about
of
the
our
pain.
episode. I think we've said. We gotta talk about the pain. That's for another episode. Another episode, possibly in our second season, because we're starting to wrap up this season.
Okay. We wait.
So, we definitely are starting to wrap up this season. I think we have, like, 1 or 2 more episodes left. By the time this comes out, it's gonna be, like, December.
Yeah.
So, like, we're gonna be taking, like, a small hiatus, like, around December, and then we're gonna start, like, organizing and, like, figuring out what we want to do for, like, our next episodes now that we've, like, done our first season. Like, we kind of got, like, the nicks and all that ironed out. Like, we're getting used to it. We hope that you'll stick with us. Tell your friends about us. Like, I know when I tell my family that I have, like, a haunted doll podcast, they're just like, what? That shit's rad!
I'm too scared to tell anyone.
I tell, like, my boyfriend's family, but not my family.
But yeah, man, send us emails and comments. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about your Furby. Send us your Furbies, your Furby collections. I
If you
fucking
send us
love
pictures of our
Furbies.
dolls, we will definitely, like, geek out with you. It's okay.
Ah, yes. So, make sure to follow us on our social medias where we post a lot of art of, like, the little characters that you see on the screen. We love posting our, like, Dollsona art on there. Like, we always promote with, like, images with, like, inside jokes to the podcast episode. So it's a good time. It's fun. So follow us on, like, Instagram and Twitter at _r_us, or on Tumblr, haunts-r-us. And like you could also email us at hauntsrus@gmail.com.
Especially if you want to sponsor. Especially
all of them.
Especially if you are adamandeve.com. Please. I want free dildos. Thank you. It's a toy.
No, you can't say that on my toy podcast.
It could be. Haunted dildos.
It's not haunted though. Ooh, future episode idea: can sex dolls be haunted? That's an episode that we've had like thought that we had in mind since like we started the podcast.
Hey man, there's a lot of energy that goes towards those things.
Is it possible? Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Hopefully something will manifest. Thank you for joining us on another episode of HauntsRUs. Gato couldn't join us today because she was working overtime.
It's okay.
My poor baby.
She's here on like all of the other ones. So.
It's okay.
There's only one other one that we... Oh no, two other ones that aren't
She's
all three of
the
us.
others. That marks the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of HauntsRUs, and we hope that you stick with us and that you look forward to our next season. Bye-bye.